Welcome back, Tribe. Got an interesting one. Japan rolls out last chance efforts to curb population decline.
少子化は我が国の社会経済全体に関わる問題であり、先送りのできない待ったなしの課題であるとの思いから不退転の決意で取り組んでまいりました。若年人口が急減する2030年代に入るまでが少子化傾向を反転できるかどうかのラストチャンスです。
So we know Japan is one of the most developed nations on the planet, and we also know that they have probably one of the worst population declines that's imminent, and they have the oldest, I believe, on average population in the world. They're not making kids anymore. The young people are completely disoriented when it comes to dating. Japanese work culture is too stringent. Again, the economy for them has gotten too expensive. Inflation has far outpaced wages. It's just impossible economically. It's not viable to be married and have a children as a man to support a wife, stay at home. On top of that, with kids, it's just not economically viable in any developed nation. And the comments, probably say the same thing. It says Kishida offers to treat symptoms, not the actual cause. People can't make a family if they spend 60 hours a week in an office. The social and cultural codes around dating and relationships are also an issue, but those take more time to change. Japan needs to reform its workplace environment and work laws if they want to actually treat the problem itself. Another one says, I live in Japan, and the declining population is work culture. The reason, for declining population is work culture. People cannot have children when they work 70 plus hours a week. It is unimaginable. The government needs to fix this. Another one, I think the issue really is work culture. Time to set a mandatory limit of weekly work time and plus systemic paternity leave. And they have people that work themselves to death, literally. There are news reports in Japan, man works himself to death. Another one, I had a female friend that lived there, and she worked 6 days a week, about 10 hours a day for a simple job. She often had to do some company event on Sunday as well. If she was 5 minutes late for work, they docked her pay. So she had to rent an apartment in the city. It was a closet. She had almost no money after basic necessities. She had a solid middle-class career job. How is anybody having kids? That's a good fucking question, isn't it? Japan is declining on the whole, but the town of Nagi increased its birth rate by taking dramatic steps. They reduced the number of council members to raise money and then used that money to provide affordable housing for families and free healthcare for children. As a result, people are feeling safe enough to have children. Japan should try this on a national level. You hear that? That's another problem with the economy that we're not talking about. We don't build middle-class homes anymore. We don't build affordable housing anymore. It's all luxury apartments, luxury condominiums. It's about stacking as many units vertically as possible on a small plot of land to extract the most profit. But that's not what people want when they envision creating a family. You don't want a family in a fucking apartment. And then this perfectly encapsulates the infantilization of adults in the West, and then coupled with the economic disparities. So here's this. I somehow feel like our younger generation, millennial here from 96, actually wants to provide and give the best platform for a kid to grow up on. Meanwhile, the older generation just pop them out and hope for the best. As an almost 27-year-old woman from Sweden, feminazi land, raising a child is absolutely nowhere near an option for me right now because I still feel like a child. And this world is a hot mess. And on the heels of this video, we have 100% lab-grown babies in 5 years. Japanese researchers are on the cusp of creating human eggs and sperm that can be grown in a fake womb. It says growing human babies from scratch in a lab, and this is like Japan trying to save themselves, could be possible in just 5 years thanks to a new breakthrough. Researchers in Japan are on the cusp of being able to create human eggs and sperm in the lab from scratch, which would then develop in an artificial womb. Professor Hayashi, a Japanese scientist at Kyushu University who has already figured out the process in mice, Jesus, they're making progress, believes he's just 5 years away from replicating the results in humans. But there are ethical concerns, as it means women of any age could have babies. Parents may also want to design their offspring to have certain traits using gene editing tools, giving way to the notion of an assumed perfect child. Here we go, Gattaca, baby. 2-tier societal system. One based on gene-modified humans that are perfect, super smart, strong, resilient, leadership capabilities, immune to cancer, all that stuff. And then you have the second-tier natural-born people, the plebs, who have all the natural defects from Mother Nature inherited. Dr. Hayashi and his team recently created 7 mice with 2 male biological parents using skin cells from a male mouse to form a viable egg and then fertilize it. The ability to produce custom-made human sperm and eggs in a lab is called vitro gametogenesis, IVG. It works by taking cells from a person's blood or skin and reprogramming them to become induced pluripotent stem cells, iPS cells for short. In theory, these cells can become any cell in the body, including egg and sperm cells. They could then be used to make embryos and implanted into a woman's womb. Scientists have yet to be able to make very basic human eggs and sperm this way, but have not yet been able to make embryos. Oh, they have been able. What the fuck, dude? Scientists have been able to make basic human eggs and sperm this way already. Jesus. Dr. Hayashi guessed it would take 5 years to produce egg-like cells from humans, with another 10 to 20 years of testing before physicians feel the process is safe for use in clinics. The answer to the population collapse is going to be a 2-tier society. Holy crap. If you guys haven't seen the movie Gattaca, you should. It's very good. Stanford University professor Henry Greeley told Freethink he estimated that researchers will need another 5 to 10 years to reach reliable proof of concept, plus a decade or two for safety testing. Jesus. Jean Loring, a researcher, told New York Times in 2017, I wouldn't be surprised if it was 5 years, and I wouldn't be surprised if it was 25 years. It would mean that scientists could generate sperm and egg for infertile people from one of their blood cells, for example. And this is how they'll pass it off to us, right? We're filling a need for couples that can't conceive for whatever reason, right? That's how it all begins. And then, you pay extra if you want blue eyes. You're going to pay extra you want blonde hair. You're going to pay a little extra for cancer resistance. Hey, let's throw in this. So your kid had this genetic defect or you have this hereditary condition. Not a problem. We'll make sure the next one doesn't have this. It's for the good of society. Oh, but you have extra money? We'll make them extra tall too. Extra strong, extra smart. Boom, 2 tiers. Says some ethicists worry that closing the door on infertility could quickly open the floodgates to designer babies, eugenics, and legal snags that our society may be unprepared to sort out. It could allow people to steal the DNA of others using a strand of hair and make babies without their consent. Holy shit. Damn. She doesn't even need to go through your trash can to get your hot sauce lace condom. She just can grab hair from your comb, bro, and that's your ass. Goes into the lab, impregnates herself, boom, got your kid. That's not my kid. I never gave her my sperm. Didn't need it. Got your hair from your comb, stupid ass. Jesus. Isn't that something? And here's your proof of concept. This is not just some sci-fi bullshit. In 2016, Japanese researchers created stem cells using 8-week-old mice, picking ones that had dropped a Y chromosome for some reason. Scientists then manipulated the cells in a way to copy the remaining X chromosome and created a cell with 2 X genes, what would usually be considered a female cell. The biggest trick of this is duplication of the X chromosome. They turn those cells into eggs and used sperm from male mice to fertilize them in the laboratory. The process led to the birth of more than half a dozen healthy mice babies. Dr. Hayashi told a New Scientist he believes the door is now open to children being born from two fathers. The aim is to replicate the same process with human cells. Purely in terms of technology, it will be possible in humans even in 10 years. Says, I don't know if they'll be available for reproduction. This is not a question just for the scientific program, but also for society. Fuck, dude.